Hi, this video is just a little showcase for this plugin I made called AutoComplete Plus, and the way it works is whenever you type in any script, it'll suggest you the imports for services, modules, instances, and types. So for example, replicated storage, just type it in, replicate first, boom. Now for modules you can see here, I've got target module and world, just pop them in like so, immediately imports them. Sometimes you don't want a module to be imported, you can give a underscore no import tag. So if I try to import target module, it won't let me. If I remove it, then it will let me. You can choose to disable an entire folder's descendants modules that are being imported by giving the folder the no import tag as such. It will let me do target module or world. Now you can also give modules a client only tag, which basically means, so here I have this client only module here. I do not want it to be importable by the target module like it is right here. Let me show how that looks like. As such. So the way to fix that is you can give it the client only tag. If you take a look, it will not let me import it, and if I remove it, it will. You could alternatively remove this tag and pop it into the folder it's an ancestor of, or a descendant of rather, and it will not suggest any modules on that folder to the server. You can see it doesn't work now. By default, all modules which are in the client context, so anywhere outside of server script, server storage, etc., you can't require server modules. So I can't get target module and I can't get the world module. Also, if I require the world module and I choose to make it just like so with no variable declaration, it will still know that I've required it. So it won't pop up here again, the box. Now, I'd like to show you guys the UI for this plugin, which at first may seem a little bit spooky, but it's actually quite simple. And if you hover over any button, it tells you what it does. I'll start with import casing styles and suggestion characters. So you can see here, service is Pascal case. So you can see the variable declaration is in Pascal case. Change it to camel case. Also changes in here and imports it as camel case. That case works the same way. You can choose to use a suggestion character. So right now you can see I just type, it shows me it immediately. However, you can maybe choose an exclamation mark. Now when I type, it doesn't show it, but with an exclamation mark, it now does. Note how I can import target module, but when I have the exclamation mark, I cannot. So I give it the same one. Next thing I show are these little icons. These are just decorational and can maybe help you differentiate between what is an importable item and what isn't. So if you see now, got a little plus icon there. Next thing I'd like to show is the ability to import types. So if I go here, shared modules, shared types, I've got this type I've set up called character. I'm exporting it. And so the way you would import it is you would turn on this setting. And now when you type in character, it just imports it like so. So if I'm writing a function that takes in a character, as such, I've got it done immediately. There's another option for this, which declares a type variable at the top of the script. This is what that looks like. As you can see, I've now got type character equals shared types.character, rather than just character is shared types.character. Next thing I'd like to show is the ability to mark instances for an auto import. So I've gone here to shared assets. I've got this folder here, which I will call events. And I've got some events in here. I'm going to mark them as underscore importable. Now you'll see it will let me import them as I type. And you can use the ancestor variables option, which means so now when I import the events folder, and I do events into remote event to all the other events, but actually use this variable here to shorten the path. Another thing you can do is listen for changes in the Explorer, have them affect all the scripts that use the Explorer item. So for example, I've got my events folder, and I'll import all the events actually. And if I choose to move these elsewhere, like replicated storage, oh well, if I turn on the setting and then I move them somewhere, it will actually affect every single line of these guys to fix a path. So back to replicated storage, go to service script service, replicate storage. Now you can also do another thing in this option. You can choose to change the variable name. So right now you can see events. If I change its name to new name, the variable remains events. You can have this be a toggle, and this only works if the variable name is the name of the item before it changed. So it has to be this. These have to be identical basically. I turn on the setting, new name, and voila. And this affects every script, even closed ones. I'll show you right now. So I've got this script closed. I change the new events folder name, opens it up, and changes it all for me. Now, one more thing I can show you guys is if the modules need an import tag setting. So you can see I can import target module just like so. But if I turn it on, I can no longer do that. That is because by default every module has or is eligible for importing. So this kind of just limits it all down. It's like a preference thing. Now you can only import if it has an importable tag. And I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to show to you guys. If you want this plugin, it's for free, and I've got the link for it in the description.